Hi everyone, Joe Massey here, Castle and Cook Mortgage. Wanted to get in touch today to give you some tips for interviewing your buyer's lender on your fix and flip projects. The buyer's lender, as you know, is providing the funds for the sale, and if you're not careful, they can make a huge impact on your profits. The buyer's lender is playing a critical role in the sale of your fix and flip. If they can't perform on the contract and they can't fund the loan, then you don't make any money. So you want to make sure that you communicate with the lender, interview them, and get the assurance that you need that they can perform on the contract and close. So, 7 tips. What's the number one thing you should be looking for? Who are you dealing with? All right. Who is the lender? Are they a broker, a lender, a bank, somebody else? Who's the individual loan officer? All right. Who's the person you're working with? Are they an experienced loan officer? Are they new? Is it a call center? Maybe you're just dealing with whoever you reach when you call the 1-800 number. Are they full-time or part-time? This is a big one. If I call you between 8 and 5, are you going to tell me that you're busy at your job, working 9 to 5, and then you do loans in the evenings and on the weekends? Or is this your full-time position? Where are they located? All right, this is a big one. Are they here local? Are they out of state? What's the time difference? If I call you at 8 o'clock in the morning, are you already in the office, or you're not going to be there till 9 or 10 o'clock if you're located on the West Coast? This is a big one. Are they licensed? I've actually seen this where a contract will go all the way through to the closing, and they find out the loan officer and the lender were not licensed in the state of Colorado. And of course, they couldn't perform on the contract, and the loan was turned down. And ultimately, the fix and flip investor was left with a property that they had to put back in the market. So it seems like a basic question, but it is very important. How did the buyer meet the lender? All right, this is an important one to just kind of get a feel for who is the lender, who is the buyer, what's their relationship. Was this an online lead? Was this a referral? Is this a former customer? Maybe the lender has worked with this buyer before. It's important to know that background. All right, does the buyer's agent have any experience with the lender? Has this person worked with the lender before? If so, how many deals have they done? Do they always perform and close on time? Ever had problems with closing? And if so, what were the problems? What did that cause? Does the lender have any experience with fix and flips? If you're a fix and flip investor, you want to make sure that you know this. All right, this is a funny one. Does the lender know what a fix and flip property is? And yes, this is a serious question. We actually, Terry and I have actually run across many lenders that don't even know what a fix and flip is. And so when you ask them, can you do fix and flip financing? Yeah, that should be no problem, but they really have no idea what it is. So it's elementary for us, but there are people out there that don't know what these types of properties are. And how many fix and flips have they closed? Have they done a lot in the past? Are they new to this? Is this going to be their first one? If it is their first one, is this somebody that you want to risk your profits with? Seasoning requirements. Okay, this is a big one. How long is the seller required to hold the property before the lender will lend on for the new buyer? Do they have no seasoning requirements? 90 days? 6 months? Some banks now have 12 months or greater requirements. All right, many banks don't. For example, my company, we have no seasoning requirements, but many banks do have these requirements, and you're going to want to know that before you get into a contract with this buyer and this lender. Are there any differences for their conventional or FHA guidelines? If the customer is getting one loan or another, is that going to impact the seasoning requirements? And what happens if the customer changes midstream? Does that impact the seasoning requirements? What about the appraisal requirements? Number one, how many appraisals do they need to have? Do they just require one appraisal, 2 appraisals, one appraisal plus a desk review? Do they need a copy of the home inspection? All right, this is going to be required on some loan types, and you're going to want to know this up front if they are going to need a copy of that. Now, here's a big one. If they tell you they have no additional appraisal requirements and it's the same as any other transaction, that should be a red flag for you. A fix and flip property is inherently risky for the lender due to the large amount of appreciation. Every lender who works with fix and flips will have additional requirements. Not everybody's going to require 2 appraisals. For example, my company, we only require 1 appraisal plus a desk review. It's a very easy process. But if you're working with this lender and up front they tell you, oh no, we don't have any additional requirements, no problems at all, that should be a red flag. You should be worried. Next, what is their closing time frame? This is a big one. Most companies right now are experiencing longer time frames. My company, we're still closing loans in 26 or 27 days, oftentimes less, but we are seeing some companies going out 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, sometimes even more than that. So it's important that you ask the loan officer, how long is it taking? Many lenders are experiencing extended turn times right now for a couple of reasons. Biggest one, massive layoffs in the mortgage industry. All right, these major layoffs have led to fewer processors, fewer underwriters, and fewer support staff at most major lenders. All right, if you're working with one of these lenders that have had major layoffs, you're going to want to know that. There's been 10,000 layoffs in the last 90 days. Did this affect your buyer's lender? And if so, how is it going to affect you? All right, if you are ended up having to hold the loan for a longer period of time, that's going to make a big impact on your profits. You want to make sure that the lender can close on your time frame. So lastly, again, I'm Joe Massey with Castle & Cook Mortgage. We offer fix and flip financing. It's one of the highlights that we do. Of course, we offer conventional FHA, VA, investment property loans, purchases, refinances, all sorts of permanent mortgages. But the reason I wanted to put this out here, if you're working with somebody and they can't help you, or if they don't offer fix and flip financing, please feel free to call or email me. I want to be a resource for you and do anything that I can to help you and your buyer with this transaction. Again, Joe Massey, 303-809-7769. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you soon.